Specialization is the ninth spiritual law of the universe. By specialization, I am referring to the universal creative principle manifesting itself through the individual. Just by observing the universe, you can notice, without much effort, that there are two main levels at which creation manifests. There is the generic creation that manifests as a cosmos, and there is the individualized creation that manifests as your personal reality. Going back to the law of creativity, we saw that the universe is the self-expression of the universal creative principle or logos of creation. The logos is the God code, mental blueprint, or spiritual pattern by which creation unfolds. Creation unfolds in a generic fashion, that is, in kinds. This is why we can make a clear distinction between the various kingdoms of life or levels of manifestation. The law of creativity is also known as the law of differentiation. Let us review this law of differentiation to help us grasp how the law of specialization emerges from it. According to the standard classification of modern biology, all life on our planet can be classified into 6 kingdoms. Kingdom 1, the ARCHAEA, are prokaryotic single-celled microorganisms that do not have a nucleus within their cells. They are neither plants nor animals. Kingdom 2, the bacteria, constitute a large domain of prokaryotic biological cells or microorganisms which occur in many shapes. They were among the first life forms to appear on Earth and are present in most habitats. Kingdom 3, the protists, are eukaryotic organisms that are neither plants nor animals nor fungi. A common example is the amoeba. Kingdom 4, the fungi, are eukaryotic organisms that include microorganisms such as the yeasts and molds, as well as the more familiar mushrooms. Kingdom 5, the plants, are mainly multicellular, predominantly photosynthetic eukaryotes of the kingdom Plantae. If you look out through your window, probably everything green you will see is a plant, from the grass on your lawn to the trees in the distance. Kingdom 6, the animals, are multicellular eukaryotic organisms that form the biological kingdom Animalia. With only a few exceptions, animals consume organic material, breathe oxygen, are able to move, can reproduce sexually, and grow from a hollow sphere of cells, the blastula, during embryonic development. The process of organizing life forms into the various kingdoms, as we have seen, is a scientific discipline known as taxonomy or systematics. In order to classify life forms into the various kingdoms, scientists make use of the characteristics that an organism manifests, as well as its relationship or resemblance to other organisms. There are generally 2 types of characteristics used, namely the classical characteristics and the molecular characteristics. The classical characteristics include morphology or structure, physiology or function, ecology or environment, and genetic analysis. The molecular characteristics are a result of genetic analysis, and they include comparison of proteins, nucleic acid base comparison, nucleic acid hybridization, and nucleic acid sequencing. My intention is not to intimidate you with biology and biochemistry, but to show you something very crucial. If you have not understood anything in the preceding paragraph, do not worry. Here is the real message. The classical and molecular characteristics that are analyzed as a means of classifying organisms into kingdoms are basically an analysis of the amount of intelligence that is coded into each organism and manifested through that organism. At the end of the day, therefore, the taxonomy of life forms is actually the taxonomy of the degrees of manifestation of consciousness or intelligence. Now, notice that the 6 kingdoms are based on the standard definition of life according to biologists. But all life is rooted on the elements of earth, water, fire, and air. These 4 elements can all be traced back to the activity of the sun at the core of our solar system. Or if you want to go even further, they all emerge from the singularity that physicists have theorized to have existed before the Big Bang. For convenience, let us call this foundation kingdom the mineral kingdom. Mineral life is not dead. It appears lifeless only because the degree of aliveness in the mineral world is also a reflection of the degree of consciousness within it. All life, be it biological or otherwise, boils down to the arrangement of atoms in the genetic code of the organism. And the way this genetic code manifests determines how that organism orchestrates its microenvironment. Right now, the reason why you're even breathing is because you have iron, a mineral, within your hemoglobin. So, we have added to the 6 kingdoms a foundation kingdom called the mineral kingdom. Now, within the animal kingdom, we have this species called man, the primate mammal who is the Homo sapiens sapiens, or intelligent being of his family. It is man's capacity for self-awareness that sets him apart from all other animals. This self-awareness is the godlike quality by which man is the image of God. Through his ability to self-reflect, man becomes a center of awareness existing within the infinite sea of consciousness we call God. This self-awareness is a faculty that is termed free will. If you observe all the other kingdoms of life, you will notice that life spontaneously flows and multiplies through them unhindered. Instinct is a form of intelligence that they possess, and this instinct is towards survival, growth, multiplication, or dominance. Survival of the fittest through competition is the law that governs the generic universe. Everything multiplies after its own kind. Apart from man, nothing else in creation has the capacity to proactively perceive, analyze, make decisions, and feel the experience of those decisions. All things respond to the instinct that has been programmed into them by their genetics and the experience gathered through evolution. This is why, for example, the migration of birds is a response to seasonal changes. As we have seen, the generic manifestation of life on the cosmic plane is known as differentiation. That is, the universal creative principle differentiates itself into the kingdoms of life, and the kingdoms of life go on to multiply after their own kind ad infinitum. But through his gift of self-awareness, man does not only multiply after his own kind, but also has the ability to create his personal experience. Our bodies belong to the kingdom Animalia and multiply after their own kind, like all generic life does. But our consciousness exists beyond space and time and gives us the capacity to shape our individual lives with such freedom and diversity that of the over 6 billion people on earth, You can never find two people that have the exact same personality. The replication of the universal creative principle through the individual, such that it becomes conditioned by the free will into manifesting a personalized version of reality, is what we call specialization. Most people create their personal reality passively because they have not yet experienced conscious awakening. As such, their life experience is the spontaneous expression of the social conditioning that is programmed within their subconscious minds. When you experience the awakening of consciousness, you take a leap from the seventh kingdom to the eighth kingdom. The eighth kingdom is the new creation of the God-man. Instead of being merely a Homo sapiens sapiens, you now become what I call a Homo sapiens Christos. The law of specialization is always working, but the quality of your personal experience depends on your level of awakening. If you are still spiritually asleep, then the law of specialization will manifest into your personal reality, the social conditioning that is programmed into your subconscious. If you have consciously awoken into the eighth kingdom of the God-man, then the law of specialization will manifest into your personal reality, the fullness of life, love, beauty, peace, and abundance. Take the leap into the eighth kingdom, that you may manifest the glory of the sons of God. I am GodfreyEsoh, and this is Spiritual Engineering.